We must defeat tomorrow. You are listening to Lifer House Podcast.
Lifer House Podcast, we are back with another episode today, man. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Keeping it green. Make sure everybody's still out here staying sanitized and clean with all this little corona mess going on. And also, happy Tom Brady is leaving the Patriots Day, too. So, big shouts out to that. Yeah. He not coming back. But we have another guest on today's episode, Miss Scottlyn Marie, the owner of Waxsy Candle Co. How you doing?
I am great.
Good. So before we get started, something I'm doing now, we're gonna shuffle this deck up here, right?
Okay.
And I don't know what question is gonna come out of this deck, but we gonna see. So whatever it is, it's nothing too bad.
Okay,
so
I was about to say, don't have me.
Let's see. What was your first screen name? I guess as far as like social media and stuff, like your screen name there. Oh, I gotta think of mine while you say yours.
I don't even remember. I think it was probably like Scotty Too Hottie. I think that was it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
What was mine?
I don't remember.
I think it was Bam Got Down.
It was what?
Bam Got Down. Yeah, that's what it was a while ago, I think. If I can remember properly, but I don't know. So Scotty Too Hottie is what it was.
Yeah, I think it was Scotty Too Hottie. I don't remember like MySpace or nothing like that, but.
Yeah, I think MySpace and stuff, that was just your back then, I don't think I know I wasn't making up the names, and it was just thinking my regular name on MySpace. I treated it like Facebook.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. But all right, so now that's out the way. So what we gonna do for all the people that's listening? Just tell them, like, let them know who you are, your name, where you from. You can give them a little backstory of your childhood growing up. Just how you was living then, the mentality you was in there. Just from then until where you are now, then we'll get into it. So just let them know who you are.
Okay, well, I am Scottlyn Marie. I am the owner and founder of Waxsy Candle. Oops, shit.
You good. Oh, if it just just put it back inside
okay, where I put it?
You can take them off, put it in there. Yeah, just look at it. No, you all right? You good? You gonna get it right.
I'm clumsy. Okay.
All right, you should be good now.
Is it in there now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, technical difficulties. I'm back. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little clumsy, y'all. But okay, my name is Scottlyn Marie. I am the owner and founder of Waxsy Candle Co. I'm from East Atlanta, Zone 6.
Stand up.
All day. Stand up, don't play, okay? Not the Lithonia area from Boulder Crest, River Road, okay? Just making sure. I lived a very happy childhood. Very happy. I graduated from Albany State University, and I decided to get into insurance at State Farm.
Shout out to State Farm.
I
That's
know,
who I'm
right?
with.
I know. That's like the buckhead of insurance. So just make sure y'all holler at me. But from there, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was really good at acting. Like, that was my major in college was theater. So I was really good at acting, but it didn't fulfill me. I didn't really know where I wanted to go with that. So that led into anxiety. And then my ex got killed a couple years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear it.
It's okay. And that really triggered it really heavy. And I was like, I don't know how to get out of that. I didn't know how to get out of depression, out of anxiety or anything. So I started Googling, what can I do? Because I didn't want to take medication. I didn't want to go to see no doctor, nothing. So candle making came up. And I was like, ooh, that sounds really fun. So I decided to make candles. And I was like, okay, this is very calming. And then I started giving them to my friends, to my family, and they actually liked it. And I was like, okay, well, what is it going to take to turn into a business? And it actually didn't have much of a startup cost, and it was just like, okay, this is a very big industry. You don't see a lot of black people making no candles and having no candle company.
I haven't
so
heard
I was
too
like,
many.
okay, I can make a lane here. And I launched I did a soft launch in August of 2019, and I sold out in less than 3 hours.
God,
so I was like, okay.
Well, that was the first time you ever introduced it?
The first time ever. I was just like, okay. I sold out in 3 hours, so I was like, okay, I'll launch. And I launched November 4th, 2019. I think I sold out in less than a week. So I'm like, yeah. And I've only been open for, 6 months?
Since you started it, the business?
Since I've started.
That's good. So it was pretty much just off of just that one Google search of how to try to get better from there.
Yeah.
And that's how I started.
Yeah, because I'm with candles, and also you have to realize, the world is changing right now, and self-care is probably the biggest thing that we as Black people need to, zone in on.
For sure.
get your mind right, pray, like take bubble baths, drink your tea, whatever the case is. But lighting candles, like that helps a lot. Like you get to write during that time. It makes your home smell good. It makes it feel like a home. So I'm glad that I get to really
Yeah, I
do that for
love
people.
candles.
Yeah.
For me, they set a vibe. The smell does too. When I go to the store and shop for some, of course, I got to smell every one. I just don't go pick some up. But
Stop going to them stores.
Hey,
Too.
nah, I got the plug. The plug
I was
is here
about to
now.
say,
The plug
this
now.
is
Gotta
it,
support your
okay?
own.
Because
Yeah.
the candles in the stores, they don't have nothing but toxins.
Hey, see,
So-
I haven't done research like that into candles, and that's crazy to know they got toxins in it. So even though you're just smelling it, so talk about how can that affect you? Like the difference from what's in your candles to the candles you get from the store.
So with the candles that you get from the store, those are usually made with mass production. So like Bath and Body Works candles, whatever the case is, the little dollar store candles. So when you're burning those, you're burning whatever they're putting in that candle, and you're breathing that in. And
Makes
not all the
sense.
time it's soy wax. So a lot of times it can be oils that they're just putting in, just stuff that they're just mixing together. Literally, I wouldn't. It's a lot of stuff that you can mix into a candle just to make it into a candle. But I use coconut wax, 100% coconut wax. So I'm like,
Organic with it.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I know. I know.
Crazy.
But yeah, so coconut wax is actually really healthy. It's a step up from soy wax, because when I first launched, I was like, I don't want to do a soy wax candles. Everybody's doing that. I'm like, okay, what is the next healthier option? I'm like, coconut wax. And it lasts so much longer.
As far as like when you burning it, the burn
Like
time.
these burn like up to 60 hours.
God,
Yeah.
dang.
They burn up to 60 hours.
And that's because of the coconut wax. See,
And it holds the scent in.
but that's
too,
one
so
thing
yeah.
I don't like if I was to buy a candle from a store. Like I would like to have it lit all day to just keep it
Yeah.
going, but I really got to sit here and try to preserve the candle, because it's like, man, I spent this money on it, but I want to burn it all day, but it's already burnt out by tomorrow. So that's dope too. So would you say entrepreneurship was something that was already in you, or just out of that time, like after all that the Google search and whatnot, that's when it just popped out? Or do you think it was something there as a child? Like, were you doing things as a kid as far as making money on the side, doing small things? Or how did that come about as far as the hustle to do your own business?
I've always been a hustler. Like always from
Got you,
like
come
when
from
I was
East
looking.
Side.
Exactly. You know. But always been a hustler. But entrepreneurship has definitely always been in me. My mom, she writes. She's a flight attendant as well. My stepdad, he's always owned his own business. My biological dad is in the music industry. So I've had a lot of people around me who have seen different parts of business, or who's involved in business, or whatever the case was. So it's always definitely something that's been stuck to me. Like even when I was acting and I was putting together my brand and putting together like, events and things of that sort. So even then, it's just like now it's just channeled into something better. Something
So you
different.
prefer diving into candles more than acting? Or is acting like, that's what you want?
Ooh, that's a good question. Right now, I would prefer candles over acting.
Pursue acting.
Yeah, I'm more of a stage girl, so I don't like film very much. It's very oversaturated. To me, it's not. You don't really get to see the talent. You don't really get to see the real talent of a person.
Versus like a live play or something like that?
Exactly. I love live plays. Like that's something I would do all day. But nowadays, it's going out of style. People don't want to go see them no more.
Yeah, I know. I've
So-
never been to a live play. Of course, I've like
Wow.
probably caught some. They were like pre-recorded and put on television, but I've never attended a live play. The closest to that I've been to was it was an orchestra. And
Not even a Lion King?
Nah, I never seen that live. I only seen that on the VHS, and what's out now.
Okay.
I haven't. So, what with acting? Do you got any projects that you done previously that's out, or you was what's that face for? You was a dibbling dabbling in it.
What was I in? I was in Step Up, the series. A couple of other things. I really don't remember.
Step Up. Was that dancing? I
Yeah,
want to say.
yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
remember that. I remember that.
It was a new show that just came out. Prior to that, not really anything besides theater. I think the last thing that I really did that I was really proud of was at Albany State. My final play was Romeo and Juliet, and I was Juliet.
classic.
So Exactly. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
What made it so hard?
You have to learn the language. You have to learn like their movement. It was a lot of research, a lot of
So
studying.
that was the biggest barrier there. We think it was the language.
Yeah.
As far as like speaking in a Shakespearean way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just understanding why they talk the way they talk, their dialect. It was a lot. And I think I got sick and I had to go to the hospital like 2 days before the opening night. And I was like, I don't have no understudy. I have to get it together. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So they was freaking out. So I was on bed rest like the whole day before opening night and literally had to pull it together. So the first night I was like really sick. So that's why I was
You still got it done?
I did.
Would you
I did. They should have gave me a Grammy for it. But, you know, we ain't going to talk about that. But yeah.
Would you do something else nowadays, or are you just strictly focused on the Waxsy Candle Company?
It could happen.
Screenplay or like a live play? Would you do film, or are you just totally against it?
I don't think I would anymore. If I do hop back into it, I think I would more so want to probably write my own play and produce it.
Have
and
you
put it on.
written on?
I have actually, and I do a lot of writing just as me as a person. That's how I release. That's how I like translate my thoughts. But if I come back to it, I think I would more so want to revive the theater world. Instead of, keep building onto the film world.
Okay. So back to the candle. So I see you have does the name of your candles represent anything of what you're getting out of it? Because just break down the process of you making what you can talk about.
Okay.
You making your candle, how you name it, the reason why you name it, what it is, and just specifically, let's go with these three here, and then the vibe you get from each one.
Okay, so the first one here is Yuri. This is grapefruit and mint. So I got this name from my friend Aaliyah. When I was starting my candle company, she was like, you have to smell a grapefruit candle. Like, you have to smell what it's. I was like, grapefruit? That sounds like it would stink. I was like, okay.
Grapefruit.
You gonna love this one.
Well, the taste. Let me say the taste.
That's why I'm like, who wants to smell grapefruit?
Yeah.
But then, like, I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I ended up smelling it. I was like, wow, this smells really good. So she just had a baby girl, and her name is Yuri. So I said, because you put me on to the grapefruit, Yuri has a candle. So that's how Yuri got named. So then you have Boss, which is sea salt and citrus. So this is more so unisex. So men love it, women love it. It's a very boss smell. Like when you smell it, that's what I thought of. I was like, okay, this is some bossy stuff. Okay. So that's how I got the name of that. Really, how I get the name of the candles is what I feel when I smell it. Like, what do I think of? Where does it take me to my mind? I'm like, I don't like long sentences on a candle. That's just me. I don't want the whole quotes on a candle. Like something simple, something relevant, something somebody can look at and be like, I'm a boss. I want to smell like a boss. I want my office to smell like a boss, or whatever the case is. Chakra is cucumber and bergamot.
Sounds like it smells good.
It does. It smells really good. And I made it with glitter. So this took a long time to make, like to perfect. Yeah.
See, from the outside looking in, for me, it's like, okay, I see a candle, but you just never know what goes into something.
It takes a lot.
On the other side.
So many people are like, oh, I can make a candle. I'm like, okay, you make it.
The closest I've got to making a candle is what I do. Is I really love candles. Like right now, I have a whole cabinet of candle jars just sitting there. But what I would do, I'll go to the store and buy my own wick or the little wood crackling wick, and I'll just put the empty containers in a pot and boil it to get out what's left, and just make layers of candles and just make layers.
That is cool.
Put my own thing in there. That's the closest I've done. Yes, I love burning candles, especially when I'm doing creative work. It sets the whole vibe.
Yeah.
The whole vibe.
Yeah.
So what's the process of your candle making? Like, like I say, what you can talk about. So how do you, from start to finish, is it produced?
So of course, for me, I go based off of collections. So mentally, I'm like, okay, what collections do I want to have? Like I have an upcoming spring collection, so I'm like, I need to look for spring scents, floral scents, things of that sort. So basically, I get like an array of scents, and I narrow down which ones I want. I'm smelling
like you saying
them.
just like thoughts of the scents you would want? Or
No,
you
like
actually,
order them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I order like a whole bunch of scents, and I'm like, okay, this one goes here. This one I don't like. This one we can trash. This one I can kick out the way. This one we can keep, or whatever the case is. Then from there, it's like, okay, now I have to actually make the candle, which it takes a lot of work. It takes me about 6 hours to probably make 7.
Damn.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work because I have to boil the wax down. Then from there, you have to measure. And right now, I kind of have my measurements in a good spot, but you have to measure like how much fragrance you want. And then, of course, you have to know how much wax to use. So that's a plus. You have to, yeah, it really is a science thing because it's like if you have the wrong size wick, it'll tunnel and like you'll have a hole in the middle of your candle.
Something new every day.
Or exactly. It's like it takes a lot. And it took me a long time to get it, but basically from there, then of course pour the mixture into the jar, and then from there I have to print the labels out. And usually, what holds me up is coming up with the names because it's just like sometimes I'm like I really don't know what to name this
Do you
candle.
think sometimes you go too hard on yourself as far as figuring out a name?
I do. I do. I have like 6 candles right now, and I'm like I can't name them. Like I have no idea what to call them. Yeah.
I mean, it's when you putting thought into your brand as being the one in charge of it and the creator, you get caught up in the what's good for you. But half the time, the quickest decisions be the best ones. How long it took for you to name these 3? Well, I know with that one, that was a no-brainer, Yuri, but were these just like, when you smelled it?
I think I've had this candle made for a month, 2 months now. I just named it probably like 4 days ago.
Damn.
Yeah, I just named this one 4 days ago.
Well, so I noticed that since the name Chakra, is it still bouncing off of like the chakras in the body of that, or just what?
So that's where I got the name from.
Okay,
because with everything going on right now, I said, well, I have these candles, and people have asked me so many times, like, when are you going to release the glitter ones? And I'm like, I never really had a reason to add them into any collection. But I'm like, I wanted to come up with something, so I put it underneath a self-care collection so that you can use it while you're taking a bath, while you're, taking a shower, whatever the case is. Only because there's so much going on, like, y'all need to focus. Y'all need to get your minds right. So I'm like, this can definitely help. So the name Chakra definitely helps with self-care. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. So what are some of the obstacles you've ran into as far as on the journey of entrepreneurship when you started within the candle industry? Like what from day one when you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, until that first launch, in between that time and that space of a gap, what are some of the roadblocks you ran into that could have possibly made you say, hey, fuck this, I'm going to quit. I'm not doing this shit for nothing. Like, so what happened in between that time before you was like, okay, this is a go?
So my very first launch, which was the soft launch, when I sold out, I paid for my shipping labels online. And I was down to my last. I was like, okay, well, still got to get out. So they took my money, but they didn't give me my shipping labels.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, maybe I messed up, but they took the money out of my account. So I was like, okay, let me do it again. So I clicked submit again. They took it out again. So I was like, y'all just took like my last $100. How am I going to deliver these packages? So I literally had to get in my car and drive to every single address. And thank God they were in Georgia.
You sent them to deliver your orders?
To deliver every order. And I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and literally delivered every candle. Every single candle. Because I was like, okay, I don't have enough money to go send them off through the post office. It's going to take like 5 days for them to give me my money back. So I'm like, I can't have them waiting 5 days. So I'm like, okay, I have a car. I got some gas. Let's figure it out. And put in those GPS. I was like, I got to do what I got to do. So, yeah.
So that was the biggest hurdle you think you had to get over in between?
Not at all. That was just, when that was the first hurdle that happened. I was like, okay, so I know I'm in for something different. I know I'm in for a long shot right now. But just dealing with, getting your labels together, that's probably the biggest hurdle because the labels that I had previously, they were absolutely terrible. And
I seen the recent the before and after you posted.
Yeah, I was like, I cried when I got these new labels, y'all. But just really finding the right products for you, finding something that represents your brand, that is really hard. And a lot of people don't realize how much goes what goes into finding something that brings your vision to life. Because before I got started, I was like, well, let me outsource instead of making all of these candles. I don't know if I can fulfill all these orders. So I flew to Miami to meet with a vendor.
Who made candles?
Who made candles.
Okay.
They make them, they package them, they label them, but they charge you like $1,500 for 40. And I was like, I ain't got that kind of money. So I was like, okay, I got to put the work in. I got to just, if I get a lot of orders, I just got to focus on my time, make them that way. But we really hit a lot of hurdles mentally more than anything else. Because it's like, okay, nobody has taught me the financial aspect of it. Nobody has taught me how to do the LLC. You know, nobody taught me how to, you know, really market myself and reach out to people and initiate the conversation and be in their face on your brand. You know, nobody taught me that. Now I have people who are teaching me. I have mentors now. But before, when I was coming in, nobody taught me. I didn't know. So I had to figure a lot of stuff out on my own. I was like, okay, I'm paying for everything out of pocket. Everything. Like all of my supplies out of pocket completely. I was like, can I do this?
The duties of owning a brand. I tell you.
It's a lot.
So was it, when you say it affected you mentally, did it have you like, you had to stop production for a few days or anything? You ever had a gap like that to where the process has made you just, I need a week off of this?
Cried. Literally was in my bed crying. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, can I afford all this stuff? Like, am I going to really make it? And
did you want to quit at that point?
I did. I really did. But I was like, I ain't no quitter. My mom ain't raised no hoe.
So what, you feel me?
Like, you gotta get done. You gotta get done.
So what made you keep going? Like, what was the motivation to get you through that, to just say, all right, let me just suck this shit up and just keep it pushing?
Really, my family. The biggest thing. Like, my mom, she's always telling me, like, Scottlyn, you just got to get it done. You have to do it. You know, you're different. You set the tone. You set the standard. If you let something knock you down mentally, you're never going to make it.
Hey, that's fair. Shout out to my dudes.
Get on your feet, pray to God, keep God first, and keep going. And let him behold. It's like the second you had that talk with God and you like, okay, I'm tripping. I ain't walking by faith. I'm walking by sight right now.
Hey, man.
Get it together. And literally seconds later, God will be like, all right, my child, here you go.
Hey, you speaking the truth. He'll step in some in the most amazing ways and amazing times when you need it. But it's about, like you say, that faith. If you have it, it'll come through.
Exactly.
With that. So saying that, so how do you clear your mind mentally when that stuff is going on? What is your getaway or your happy place or your, hey, I'm stepping away from business or producing candles and I just want my mental space and that peacefulness. So what do you do to achieve that?
I meditate. I'm big on meditation. I'm big on journaling. I'm big on talking to myself a lot. You
ain't crazy if you talk
I know,
to
and people have told me I'm crazy. Trust me, I know. Because I answer myself too. I know that's a little weird, but like literally. But really, journaling has helped me a lot in meditation and really finding that alone time. Because when you get into, you know, owning a business, it can be very lonely. And I didn't realize that. I was like, where are my friends? Where is everybody? Nobody gets me. I don't want to go to a club and spend money. I'm like, I have to save. And nobody got me. And I was just like, okay, this is really sad. And so I started back journaling. I was like, okay, just write it out. Write letters to people. Write how you feel. Meditate on it and go about your day.
Do you do guided meditation, or is just you just sit down and get your peace that way? Because I know when I meditate, I started out using the Headspace app. That's what popped it off for me, and just that going through that guidance, it set me up to be able to. Because I kind of fell off of it maybe like 6-7 months in, but it set me up to know how to achieve that space that I've been looking for. So how is it? Do you do guided like that, or is just sit down?
Like I lay down flat on the bed, no pillow underneath my neck at all.
You got a process.
Yeah, it's a whole process, like literally. And it took me a long time, like years to really master it. And so like I lay down flat on the bed and you can play like meditation music, very low though. So it's like it tranquilizes you in a way. And you just go into a deep. I can't explain it. I wish I could, but to the point where it's like you can't move. Like all you hear is like, but you hear everything so clear. I really can't explain it. But
what's your favorite type of meditation music or sound? Because with me right now, when I do it, like for this morning, I use the it's like pineal gland activation. Song, I can't remember the name, but on Amazon. So what do you like? This sounds
Believe
like that.
it or not, Janae, I don't know how you say it, like Aiko?
I can never.
Aiko?
You know who you talking about.
Jay, you know who I'm talking about, girl. Okay. But she has something called Triggered Mantra or something like that. And it is, put it on repeat, I promise you.
Is it just sounds or her?
It's her just singing like the same hook over again. But it's not annoying. It's very like...
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and it's like with the chimes and like the wind
so she
and
got
stuff. It's
all
like
that
the
in the
whole
background.
vibe. It's like this is perfect.
Is that how you go to sleep? I know you need something like that to go to sleep sometimes or not.
No,
Do you
I
deal
have
with insomnia?
I have insomnia really bad. Yeah.
So what for me? I deal with that bad. Like I actually been to the doctor and I was diagnosed with it, and they gave me sleeping pills, but I'm not for like taking pills and stuff like that for things. So I got to find other ways. But like every night I listen to rain sounds while I go to sleep.
Really?
To get that peace. So you don't indulge in something like
No,
that. So how do you deal with your insomnia?
I don't.
You got to find something to help that.
I don't. I can literally, like, I went to bed last night at 6 a.m. Yeah, that's usually my days. It's like it comes and it goes. Some days I can go to bed at like 11 at night and wake up in the morning or whatever. Some nights I go to bed at 5 in the morning. I wake up 4 hours later and start my day. So it's like I haven't mastered how to get over my insomnia. I used to take sleeping pills, but you're not supposed to take them every day. I was popping them every day.
That's the thing. That's how I was at the time when I was prescribed mine. I was going through bodily injury, so they had me on sleeping pills and hydrocodone pain pills. So I had to take them both at the same time, but it was coming to a point where I'm like, man, hell no, I'm not about to be sitting here having to pop pain pills and I'm in pain and trying to get sleeping pills to go to sleep. I just felt like it was too much. So that's when I just said, forget it. And that's why I had to figure out the whole meditation thing and playing the rain sounds while I go to sleep. Cause I forgot what famous, I want to say he's a singer, but a long time ago they say he died from taking sleeping pills. Like he took some pills and then he didn't wake up that next morning. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that story, but that's another thing that scared me. Like, nah, I'm not doing this at all. But so with Waxsy Candles, like, what is your next goal? Like, and well, it's crazy that the first quarter of the year is shit. This is almost over with.
I know
like,
what is going.
Yeah,
this is
2020
ghetto.
This is ghetto. Ghetto already, but
2020, you are ghetto.
It's just like when you got not even so much going on, but when you actually really focus on stuff, time flies. I woke up today and I was like, why am I seeing all this green stuff? I'm like, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's like, god damn. Yeah. So what you got coming up? What is your goals for the, I guess, second or third quarter for your business? Like, what are you trying to do?
So I really want to have more in-person visits, so more pop-up shops, more, I know.
We'll talk about that.
I know, right? Coronavirus, getting real.
Got us.
But really have more pop-up shops for customers to come in and actually smell the candles firsthand. So right now I'm planning a lot of that out. They are going to start in May, so be on the lookout for that. And really expand the products that I have. So in my head, I'm like, I can really be the next Black Bath & Body Works or even the next Victoria's Secret, like, because they have body stuff as well. So that's really where I'm trying to take my brand and not just limit it to just one product where I just have to sell candles and wax melts.
So what you interested in as far as like other products to put out?
So I definitely want to add in sage. And I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews on that.
See, I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, I don't know, because people have literally told me like, no, you're not supposed to do sage. It's demonic. And I'm like, but I have a Native American background, and my ancestors was burning sage, forever, and we was just fine. So I'm like, I don't know.
Not that I won't get into it or can't get into it. It's just, it seems like burning sage is so much of a ritual type thing to where I don't want to mess with it unless I know what's behind that ritual. Because a lot of people I see nowadays, I'm just, now let me burn this sage.
Yeah, and they don't get, that's something like you have to know, like you really have to do your research before you just hop on, because opinion isn't knowledge.